Hi kiddos, I hope you're having a great day. I'm coming to you today from Riley's room, and as you can see, she really likes sunflowers. I actually told her we were going to videotape in here today so she would clean her room.
Thanks, Mom.
I've got all kinds of mom tricks, I tell you. Before I read today, I do want to tell you something cool that I did with my kids yesterday. We made our own sidewalk paint or chalk, and it was just 1 cup of cornstarch and then 1 cup of water. Mix it up, and then we put it like in little muffin trays and did like different colors of food coloring in each one, and we painted with it. And the cool thing about it was just like really, really vivid, bright colors. I might send a photo later through Blooms. So if you have cornstarch and food coloring, the next nice sunny day, you could go out and just paint some nice, fun things on the sidewalk. All right, so we are on chapter 5, and it's What If It's a Trick? Eli waited for Claire under the big oak tree outside their school. There you are, he said, falling into step with her. He carried a book under his arm. Here I am, Claire said. Kaz and Littlejohn watched and listened from inside Claire's water bottle. I'm not grounded anymore, Eli said. He opened the door and they went into the school. Can you come over this afternoon and find the ghost at my house? Claire dodged several kids in the hallway. Your mom and your sister think you're the ghost, she said. They said you don't want to move, so you're trying to make people think your house is haunted. But I'm not, Eli said. Claire spun the dial on her locker and opened the door. Kaz and Littlejohn passed through the water bottle and floated up above Claire and Eli's heads. Eli leaned against the locker next to Claire's. I'll pay you if you can find the ghost, he said. Claire wiggled out of her jacket and hung it on her locker. Don't do it, Claire, Kaz said. He dropped down in front of her. Please, don't go over to his house. Why don't you want Claire to go to Eli's house? Littlejohn asked Kaz. Because I don't trust him, Kaz replied. What if Eli plays a trick on her? He won't be there to help her. We're not going home with her after school, remember? We're staying here until Mom says we don't have to go to Valley View. We don't have to stay here. We could go to Eli's house with Claire, Littlejohn said. If he plays a trick on her, we could play a trick on him. Like this. Littlejohn grabbed the book right out of Eli's hands and then let it fall to the floor. Claire tried to hide her smile as Eli bent to pick up his book. He didn't even know why he'd dropped it. We can stay in his house tonight and then come to school with him tomorrow in his backpack, Littlejohn said. Well, Kaz said, there was no reason they couldn't do that. Here's a little picture. Earth to Claire, Eli said, waving his hand in front of Claire's face. Will you come over after school or not? Claire closed her locker. Okay, I'll come, she said, but this better not be a trick. It's not, Eli said, with a grin. I promise. While Claire went about her school day, Kaz and Littlejohn hung out behind the stage in the school cafeteria. The last time Kaz was back here was when he and Claire had solved the case of the ghost backstage. That was before he'd found any of his family members except for Cosmo. I like your idea of us playing a trick on Eli if he plays a trick on Claire, Kaz told Littlejohn. But what kind of trick could we play on him? Littlejohn just shrugged. He wants people to think his house is haunted. We could haunt him. We could glow and wail at him. We could transform some of his stuff. Then, when anyone else comes into the room, we won't do anything. If only I could glow, Kaz said. You can. You did it at Valley View, Littlejohn pointed out. Yeah, but I don't know how I did it, Kaz said. Well, there's no one around, Littlejohn said. Why don't you practice? Kaz looked at his arms. He looked at his legs. Glow, he told his body. Glow, glow, glow. He clenched his teeth and squeezed his fist. Nothing happened. Kaz sighed. While he was trying to figure out what else to try, Little John expanded really big in front of Kaz and screamed at his face. Boo! Kaz almost jumped out of his skin. What did you do that for? He asked. I was trying to scare you, Little John said. I thought maybe you glowed at Valley View because Petey had scared you. I don't think that's it, Kaz said, rubbing his arms. He wasn't glowing at all. Okay, relax, Little John said. How am I supposed to relax when you just scared me to death? Kaz asked. Little John swam behind Kaz and squeezed his shoulders like this. Breathe, he said. Kaz breathed. Breathe, Little John said again. Kaz breathed. Some more. He could feel his body relaxing. Okay, Little John said, as he swam in front of Kaz. Now, one more breath through your nose and glow like this. Kaz took one more breath and watched as Little John started to glow. But he couldn't glow himself. I guess I'll do the glowing and you can do the transforming, Little John said. How are you going to find this ghost? Eli asked Claire when they arrived at his house later that afternoon. Kaz and Little John passed through Claire's water bottle and expanded. Do you have some special ghost hunting equipment or something? Eli asked. Yes, in here. Claire patted her bag. You should get it out, Eli said. I will if I need it, Claire said, as she and Eli wandered from the kitchen to the living room. Kaz and Little John sailed above them. Tell me again, what's been happening? You said you've seen this ghost. Yes, lots of times, Eli said. Claire was about to open a closed door off the living room, but Eli stopped her. No, don't go in there, he said. That's my mom's office. She's working. Kaz tipped his head toward the door. Is that really Eli's mom's office, he wondered? Or is there something in there that Eli doesn't want Claire to see? What are you doing? Little John asked. Listening for clues, Kaz replied. I told you, Eli plays tricks on people. Maybe this is the room where he keeps all his tricks. We don't have to listen out here, Little John said. Let's go see what's in there. He passed through the door. Kaz passed through too, and the ghost found themselves in a small room. Eli's mom was working at a computer in there. Looks like Eli was telling the truth, Little John said. I guess so, Kaz said as a phone on the desk jingled. Hello, Eli's mom said into her phone. Let's go, Kaz said, turning around. He and Little John passed back through the closed door and went to find Claire and Eli upstairs. I don't know what happens when people come to look at our house, Eli was telling Claire as they wandered into a bathroom. We're never here when that happens, but the other people's real estate agent always tells our real estate agent that they saw a ghost, and then they don't want to buy our house. And that makes you happy? Claire said as she wandered around the room. Eli shrugged. It doesn't make me unhappy. What makes me unhappy is getting blamed for something I'm not doing. And I'm not haunting my own house. I'm really not. Kaz stared hard at Eli. He wished he knew whether Eli was telling the truth or not. All of a sudden, there was a loud clatter behind Claire. Claire's ghost glass was lying on the floor. That's weird, Claire said, as she bent to pick it up. This was in my backpack. How did it fall out? Eli bit his lip. I think the ghost pulled it out of your backpack, he said nervously. It's probably hiding in the shower right now. They both stared at the pink curtain that hung over the shower. Claire slowly reached over and pushed the curtain to one side. There was nothing behind it. Eli? His mom called from downstairs. Eli, Claire, and the ghosts all went out into the hallway. Yeah? Eli said, leaning over the railing. That was another real estate agent on the phone. His mom said, "We have to leave. He's bringing some people over to look at the house." Eli groaned. "Ugh, now?" "Yes, now, come on," his mom said. Claire waited for Eli to start down the stairs, then whispered to Kaz and Little John, "See what you can find out while everyone's away." "Okay," Kaz said. "See you tomorrow." "See you tomorrow," she promised. Chapter 6, The Ghost at Eli's House. All right, kiddos. Have a good day. I'll see you later.